I went to the bakery and a double dark chocolate chip cookie was calling my name. I couldn't help myself. Talk about delicious. Can you use these expressions? Calling my name, I couldn't help myself. Talk about? Well, never fear. Today, I'd like to introduce you to 10 important daily life expressions that I use often, but I don't hear my English students use often. So this is a great way to level up your vocabulary and express yourself more completely. Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com, and like usual, I have created a free PDF worksheet for you. It includes all 10 of these important daily life expressions, plus one bonus expression that we'll talk about at the end of this lesson. You can download this free PDF worksheet with the link in the description. It includes all of today's expressions, definitions, multiple sample sentences, and at the bottom of the worksheet, you can answer Vanessa's challenge questions so that you never forget what you've learned. Just click on the link in the description to download that free worksheet today. The first expression that I use often, but my English students don't really know how to use, is to see someone off. We're not talking about seeing them walk off a cliff. Instead, take a look at the sample sentence. When my sister was visiting me from California, I took her to the airport and saw her off. Ooh, saw her off? This is just another way to say that I saw her leave. I saw her go through security, and then she probably got on her flight and went home. I saw her off. The second expression that I use often, but my English students don't use, and you should, is to be floored. Does this mean that you are stuck to the floor? Not at all. You might say, when I found out that I won a free trip to Japan, I was floored. This is talking about being ultimately surprised. I couldn't believe my luck. I was floored. Expression number 3 that you should use is I found myself doing something. You could say, I went to a great concert and I found myself tapping my foot and bobbing my head and moving my body. Do you get the sense here that I'm not really choosing to do those things? It's kind of just coming over me. It's happening unintentionally. I found myself tapping my foot. You might even say this about my English lessons. You might say, I decided to watch one of Vanessa's English lessons and I found myself smiling the whole time. It was wonderful. I hope that that's true. The next expression that I use often, and you should too, is to pull it off. Are we talking about pulling something off physically? No. Instead, we're talking about this in a more figurative way. So you might say, I studied day and night for my difficult geometry exam. And you know what? I pulled it off. I got an A. So you were not expecting to get an A, so you studied really hard. This was a difficult test. There was a difficult task and you succeeded. And that is pulling something off. You know what? I pulled it off. So if you see someone walking in your city who looks a little bit lost and you think, oh no, this is my chance. I should speak to them in English. I should help them, but oh, I'm so worried about it. Can I pull it off? And then you walk up to them and you say, excuse me, can I help you? And they say, oh yes. Can you help point me in the direction of the train station? And you help them. After that, you might say, I pulled it off. You succeeded in a difficult task. Success. The next expression that I use often, and you should too, is I'm drawing a blank. Okay, well, when you draw something, you're not drawing a blank piece of paper. That's impossible. But here we're using this in a figurative way to talk about our minds. So if someone asks you, oh, do you remember the name of your kindergarten teacher? You might say, oh, I'm drawing a blank. That means that your mind is completely wiped fresh. It is wiped clean of any memory of your kindergarten teacher's name. Maybe it's there somewhere, but you can use this great expression and say, sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Do you know? The next expression that I use often, and you should too, is to take a stab at something. Seems kind of violent, doesn't it? But this is not a violent expression. Instead, it's talking about trying something that might seem a little bit difficult. So when I was growing up, my dad helped me with my math homework, and guess who helped my little sister with her math homework? Well, for a couple years, it was me, and then after it got too difficult, it was my dad. But we could say I took a stab at helping my little sister with her math homework. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So here I'm trying something that is a little bit difficult. I took a stab at trying to help her, and I hope it was okay. The next expression that I use often, and you should too, is a fun one. Something is calling my name. Vanessa, Vanessa, what's calling my name? Oh, that 7-layer chocolate cake is calling my name. Vanessa, eat me, Vanessa. So of course the chocolate cake is not actually calling my name, but it's the idea here that it's something you cannot resist. That cake is calling my name. I have to try a bite. We often use this expression when it's something that you're tempted by. It's usually not something that's perfectly good. Eating an entire chocolate cake is certainly not a good idea. Maybe you're at a store and there's a really expensive, exciting shirt that you really want to buy. You might say, oh, it's calling my name. It's tempting me. I have to get it. So here it is something that's not necessarily good, but not necessarily bad. It's just tempting you. It's calling your name. Buy me, buy me. The next expression that I use all the time, and you should too, is it has your name written all over it. Does this mean that I took a marker and I wrote your name all over that thing? Well, not exactly, but it feels like that. You might say, I bought you this sweater because it's your favorite color and I just thought it would look perfect on you. It had your name written all over it. Well, it would be pretty strange if a sweater actually had your name written all over it, kind of unusual. So here we're talking about something that's the perfect fit. Talking about something that's the perfect fit is our next expression that I use all the time, and you should too, and that is, I couldn't help myself. That doesn't mean that I'm asking you for help because I can't help myself. No, instead, this is something you cannot resist. That 7-layer chocolate cake. I just took a bite and then another bite and then another one because I couldn't help myself. Here we can substitute the word help for stop. I couldn't stop myself. I just kept eating it. But really in daily conversation, we use this expression, I couldn't help myself, more often than I couldn't stop myself. So if you're taking a walk in your neighborhood and you see a cute little puppy, you might ask the owner, can I pet it? And if the owner says yes, you reach down and you pick it up and you snuggle it all over and you're so excited. And then you say, oh, sorry, I couldn't help myself. You couldn't resist how cute that little puppy was. Our final expression before our bonus expression that I use all the time, and you should too, is kind of an introductory expression. It is talk about. Oh, we're going to be using this for emphasis. Take a look at this sentence. I watched a documentary the other day about the world's richest people, and they often own multiple mansions in multiple countries. Sometimes they own their own private island. Talk about wealthy. So here I am emphasizing, yes, all of those things I listed show that they have a lot of money, but at the end, boom, I'm adding this expression, talk about wealthy. Whew, I'm really emphasizing the fact that they're wealthy, they have a lot of money. You might even use this to talk about English lessons. You could say, I can't believe that Vanessa gives us a free English lesson here on YouTube every Friday. Talk about generous. Okay, I'm tooting my own horn a little bit here, but if you're really grateful to have free English lessons every Friday, you could use this to emphasize the point, I feel so grateful. Talk about generous. What a wonderful thing. All right, I want to give you one bonus expression, and it is to wing it. What in the world? Well, unfortunately, I use this a lot in my life. Can you imagine what to wing it means? Well, take a look at this. I didn't prepare a speech for my friend's wedding, so I think I'm just gonna wing it. This means it is not planned. I'm just gonna make it up as I go. I think I'm just gonna wing it. Or we can use this in the negative and say, I never just wing these YouTube videos. I always try to plan out a good topic, some good expressions, and some great sample sentences for you so that you can learn as much as possible. I don't wing it because I want to be a better teacher for you. Well, congratulations on leveling up your English vocabulary skills. I hope that you can use these expressions in your daily life just as much as I do. And now I have a question for you. Let me know in the comments, what is something that was calling your name and you just had to have it? Maybe it was some exciting food, maybe something you bought at the store, maybe it was something else. Let me know what was calling your name and use this great expression. Well, thank you so much for learning English with me, and I'll see you again next Friday for a new lesson here on my YouTube channel. Bye! But wait, do you want more? I recommend watching this video next, Vocabulary in 1 hour, where you will learn how to describe the people in your life, those nice people and those not so nice people. Find the right words to describe them in this video, and I'll see you there.